Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy. So take me, baby, take me to a state of mind that's made of, baby, that's made of all that we find. Test the waters, oh, it's hard. I think we're getting close. Racing through the waves, I want to be where nobody knows. So take me, baby, take me to a state of
All right.
mind that's made of, baby.
How's it going? Everyone watching. I'm on a couple of different... All right, cool. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm on a couple of different stream channels here, so hello everyone, wherever you're tuning in from. Yeah, today I'm just sort of doing some rotoing, some more visual effects on the short film that's coming out on the YouTube channel. So yeah, just sort of doing the grunt work, doing some roto and stuff today, but you know, it's got to be done eventually. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the YouTube chat, so feel free to hang out, ask questions. Let me know. I'm listening to my own music because I don't want to get flagged for copyright stuff. So let me know how things sound, how my voice sounds, and yeah. Otherwise, just hang out and let me know if you need anything. And yeah, we'll just do some mocha tracking. We'll do. I got to match these lens flares somehow because. Let me switch over screen so you can see what's going on here. So yeah, so what we're doing is we're still working on this helicopter shot, doing some of the roto on it to kind of get it to blend in a little bit more. Was able to do some of it with a Luma key to get our guys in front of our CG helicopter here, but yeah, overall, just need to kind of work through this, and yeah. So if you guys want to hang out and watch, you're welcome to. Like I said, ask questions. Let me know how the music sounds or my voice sounds, or if anything, if we run into any issues. So yeah, I'm going to just start doing it. Here we go. And let me know if the music stops, or I'm still doing this royalty-free music playlist, so just so I don't get flagged for anything. Unless by some miracle, Soundgarden or Let's see, what else am I listening to? Stone Temple Pilots, Jane's Addiction, pretty much all the 90s grunge stuff is what I'm listening to. If any of those bands want to approve some copyright music that I can use on the stream, that would be awesome, but I don't see that happening. But all right, anyways, let's I'm sort of in the process of matching the left guy here, getting these lens flares to sort of match, and then I'm gonna switch over to the right soldier, and we'll have to do some roto on the helmet and his shoulder, because this sun flare I don't know why we shot into the sun, but we did, because we wanted to get Michael Bay-esque. Sometimes you gotta channel your inner Michael Bay and shoot into the sun in semi slow motion, because it just makes sense, I guess. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna throw my headphones on, but I'm watching the YouTube chat. If you're watching from somewhere else, that's kind of what I'll be paying attention to. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, how's your guys' day? How's everyone doing? And for the few people that are hanging out, where are you guys tuning in from? Like I always say, I'm always curious where people are coming from. So yeah, feel free to chat. Don't be shy. And let's do this. I'm procrastinating because it's rotoscoping, but that's okay. All right. And Bush, if Bush is watching, Tejas, sorry if I slaughtered that, man. Today, what are we doing? We're doing some rotoscoping, matching some from the Middle East. Awesome. How's it going, Adele? Thanks for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we're doing some rotoscoping in Mocha, so we'll track a little bit of it as much as we can. The tracking I'm doing with this, I'm running into some issues because the sun flares are sort of screwing up the tracking, but yeah. Oh, watching from India, from the Middle East. That's awesome. Cool. So yeah, we're doing some tracking, matching these lens flares, and getting our CG helicopter to look a little bit better. And if we have time, I'll probably move on to some other shots and stuff. So let's do it. Grunt work. Procrastinating the rotoscoping. All right. Just gonna... If anyone else wants to join, I'm going to tweet out that we are live and we're doing it. Motion tracking will be in Mocha. Help get our roto masks a little bit faster. And sorry if I'm slow to reply. I have a little bit of a delay on my end, so but I am keeping an eye on the chat. Alright, here we go. So I started doing one little motion tracked layer here. But now I'm sort of trying to match these lens flares a little bit more to cover his shoulder up a little bit. So let's go ahead and let's just kind of get these flares to match our actual footage. Gotta cover up our mistake of shooting into the sun. I know of Hit Film. I haven't tried it myself because I'm so into, Premiere and After Effects, but it looks really cool. I think it's an awesome program. Is that what you're using? Alright, so right now I'm seeing if I can get less streaks going on here. kind of just want one here to rotate in here. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you like the background music. Like I was saying, I have to go with the copyright-free music, otherwise the video gets flagged, which is a bummer, but, you know, it makes sense. Trays, hello, man. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing a little bit of motion tracking, some rotoscoping, the grunt work. Right now I'm trying to match this lens flare. Let's make it a bit brighter. Might actually offset this a little bit. Alright, so we're getting a little bit of a streak to match there. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Oh, that might be a little much. So I'm just trying to cover up this little line on his shoulder a little bit. Made the mistake of how we shot this, but you know, those are the kind of problems we run into, so we just got to fix them. All right. One of the jokes I always make with my buddies is we got to make it look good by making it look bad. All right, so okay, I have a question. While we motion in Adobe Premiere, there are two window inner and outer. What that mean? Crank that flare up. It will look good, don't worry. I like that. I'm using iMovie. Okay, cool, man. I mean, yeah, you gotta start somewhere. Let's see. So Tejas, I'm just a little confused about your question in Premiere. Maybe just rephrase it in a different way. Looking at the window inner and outer, what does that mean? Not 100% sure. Alright, so what I'm going to probably do right now is switch over to the little bit of roto we need to do on the right shoulder. And let me know if I'm talking too loud. It's weird listening to my music, having background music, and trying to talk and hang out with you guys, which is the whole point. Oh, the tracking point. Okay, got you. Cool, so let me, we'll just do a quick little tutorial on this. So if I go to track motion, you're asking about these 2 points. If I'm correct. So if this is the point they're asking about, this is the point that you want to track. So this inner box, this is the area, like let's say I want to track this dot right here. This mask and this square and this point, it's looking for this dot. Now this outer box, this is the search region. This is how far it's going to search, you know, when the frame moves, of how far your shot is matching. So this is tracking the outside of the shot as it moves. This is focusing on this reference point. The larger this box, it's analyzing more footage, so your track will go slower. If you bring down your track region, so I really want just this dot, it's going to look for this dot in this region. So if your shot has a lot of motion blur, then it'll need a larger region to switch out or to look at and track forward and backwards. So I hope that helps. So I'm just going to delete that track point. Trace, it's all good, man. That's what we're all here. We're all just here to hang out. It's no worries at all. Whatever I can do to help out. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. So what we need to figure out is how to track this soldier, which is gonna be a pain, but that's alright. We'll do it in Mocha. Might get a little monotonous, frame by frame, sort of rotoscoping, but it's got to be done. So let's do it. So I already have Mocha open from the earlier tracks. I'm just going to turn this off. Make these green, or let's do something we can see. Awesome, glad that helped out. Another thing too, I don't have my keyboard command shortcuts turned on. If you guys want that so you can see what buttons I'm pressing, let me know. If you don't care, I'll just leave it off. So the problem I'm facing are these little sun flares. It wants to track those instead of my body because, the light is sort of screwing it up. So let's see where we actually need to start tracking here. Frame 68. So maybe we'll sort of work our way backwards. So let's just see what it looks like. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do is probably track this in sections. So when you do, someone, I'm sure someone from Mocha will chime in sometime and tell me I do this better, but when we're doing Mocha tracking for rotoscoping, we want to get a track first on the area that we want to roto. So I'm just going to start with the helmet here. And I might turn on perspective and turn up the pixel samples here. It'll be a little slower, but maybe it'll give us some more accurate track. I'm just going to hit track backwards and see how that goes. All right. So let's see your PC configuration. So what I have here is I have the i7 8 core, 16 threads, and then 64 gigs of RAM. And then right now on this machine I have a 980 Ti and a 780 Ti. That's more for Octane render and Cinema 4D. Trays, don't want to disturb you, just want to ask, can you explain in simple words what are you actually creating here? Okay, so what this will be eventually is we're doing a short film that we're releasing to the YouTube channel. And the reason we're doing a short film is because, just breaking down visual effects. We got basically a sponsor to come in to use, or to let us use their plugin so we can do some tutorials on that. So instead of just doing a couple of one-off tutorials, we wanted to do a short film to have fun and hang out with our, my friends and all our buddies. But in the meantime, also break down tutorials and give some more content, kind of real-world workflow content for the people at the Fenix YouTube channel and all of that. So yeah, it's basically all for the YouTube channel and you guys. And yeah, so we're super excited to do it. We'll have some interviews and some real techniques that we used on set, just super budget filmmaking stuff, because we did it on the cheap. We're not we're not made of money, we're not full-time YouTubers, and a lot of people might be in the same boat of not having a super huge budget and they want to make short films. And I guess that's cheating a little bit because we are, a little bit older and we're quote-unquote professionals in the field, so we do have some good equipment and stuff like that, like our DP, Ryan Accessory. He shot everything on the Ursa Mini, so, it's not a cheap camera, but, definitely a nice camera. After doing this project, I really like that Ursa Mini. And bang for the buck, I feel like it's really hard to beat, and it just looks so good. All right, cool. So what we got here is a kind of a general track of this of the helmet. And let's see. I'm gonna double check. So the helicopter never really leaves this side of me, so I mean, we'll still do it anyways, but I'm gonna have to focus a little bit more on this area. So let's go ahead and start the roto process of this. So let's name our layers here. I'm gonna make a different color too. We'll make it something like blue. So this is our helmet roto. Nice work. I'm from India, Mumbai. So are you full-time YouTube? Thanks for the question. No, I'm not a full-time YouTuber actually. It'd be sweet if I was, because I could, you know, do this stuff all the time. But yeah, I'm actually a full-time freelance motion designer. So yeah, like doing this live stream and the YouTube stuff is just when I get, you know, some free time to sort of hang out and do things that, you know, I want to do. And you know, sort of the goal would be to make a community of people that we just, you know, hang out, do motion graphics, and yeah, because one of the tough things about being full-time freelance is that, you know, I just work at home. I have my dog Pixel. If you guys have seen the YouTube channel at all, you've probably seen her a couple times. But the only bummer is you don't get to turn over to your shoulder and be like, hey, buddy, you know, what do you think of this? And, you know, have other people sort of interact in the field and be with you. So my wife gets pretty sick of me always talking about motion graphics. So, but yeah. Long answer short, I am not full-time YouTube. It'd be cool if I was, but I'm not, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to start the roto process on this. Let's do this. So now that I kind of have this general track, which it's okay, it'll totally work for what we need to do. I'm going to grab a Bezier spline here. And this will be our rotoing. So this is the part where, like, I have such an itch to just get this over with and rush through roto, but this is the part where I really need to take my time and, you know, or you, if you're rotoing, don't rush it. This is the part that counts. So the Bezier spline is cool because it's just like making a mask in After Effects. As you kind of drag, you get your nice curves in there. And the goal is to not make too many points, because it's just more we have to, unfortunately, you know, keyframe and work with once we get going. Oops, I missed the helmet. Okay, my bad. Let me go back up. Down a little too far. You know, let's see. Nah, I'm just gonna go over to and do just the helmet. I would like to try and get that all on one track, but I have a feeling it's not gonna happen. Keep it up, sir. Follow your passion. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun, and this stuff is a good, you know, break to kind of give back and hang out and do some of the things that I normally wouldn't get to do. Damn it, let me get a coffee. Hey, no worries. No worries and no rush, man. I'll be here. I'll probably still be rotoing by the time you get back. Hey, man, if you're out getting coffee, bring me one. An orange mocha frappuccino. All right, cool. So now that we got that, this is our helmet roto. I'm going to uncheck this gear to make sure it doesn't track, and I'm actually going to link it to our, whoops, this is our helmet. I named these the same thing. This is our helmet track. So let's link our roto to our helmet track. And let's just kind of, I'm just going to use the scroll wheel and just kind of see how it's sticking to the track. And I'm just going to make small adjustments as they come up. So I started in the middle of this frame. I'm just going to go all the way to the end. And I'm going to just adjust these points because Mocha's really good at interpolating in between frames. So you don't always want to go frame by frame. You kind of want to go maybe, 20, 30 frames out, 20, 30 frames back, and kind of work your way back because it'll interpret it a little bit. Sugar-free? Question mark? Ooh, I don't know. I do like my sugar. I got my Highball energy drink. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. It's I need to stop with energy drinks, but man, these Highball energy drinks, the pomegranate, acai berry, delicious, especially when they're super chill. All right, one more question. I'm learning Adobe Premiere. I want to switch from iMovie to maybe to HitFilm or maybe Adobe Premiere. Which one will you pick? Man, that's a tough question. Before I answer that, well, that's a tough question. This would be my answer. Adobe, getting into the Creative Cloud licensing, it is a little bit more expensive versus HitFilm. I'll acknowledge that. But you also kind of you got to look at the sort of the futuristic investment of that, because as much as I think HitFilm is awesome and I think it's great, if you're planning to work for a company or freelance on your own, in my experience, I don't know anyone in the field that's using HitFilm to get jobs. Now you might get gigs where people don't care what software you use and they just want you to get the job done. The majority of my jobs are, clients want to keep the project file, or the clients will give you a project file, and it's almost always Premiere. I've never come across HitFilm. So with that said, long answer short, I would go with Premiere because it's an industry program. People are using it, professionals are using it, and that's where the jobs are. And the other crazy thing is I've actually seen more Avid jobs than like Final Cut X. I know people are still using Final Cut Pro 7 because they don't want to switch to X, but so many people switched from X over to, Final Cut over to Premiere that's kind of what a lot of companies are using now. All right, cool. So the only thing I might actually change is I'm going to add some more points in here. We got this sun flare hit in here, and I don't actually think the helmet is this transparent right here. See, I'm having some issues adding a spline here. All right. Yeah, no problem at all. That's what this is all about. If I can ask, I'm just curious, how old are you? Alright, so that might actually fix kind of. Alright, so in between those 2 points, we're doing way better than I expected. 24? Okay, cool, yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely start with Premiere, and it's kind of one of those deals where the more you use it, the better you get, and it's all just putting time into the tools. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't like, for example, right now, the motion tracking here, or the rotoing in Mocha, I don't have to do too much rotoing ever, so it's like I haven't used the roto and shape tools in a while, so it's like, those skills, if you don't keep up on them, you kind of forget things. So yeah, so it's just like, you know, same with Premiere. The more you use it, the better you'll get, and all those skills will develop. And I guess the ultimate answer would be learn as many programs as you can. That's another kind of big thing that a lot of people are wanting, is they want you to, you know, as far as motion graphics go versus editors, they want you to know After Effects and Illustrator and a 3D program and Photoshop and, you know, stuff like that. So I would also advise to just don't limit to one program. Do as much as you can. Alright, so let's go forward a few more frames. I'm just using the scroll wheel to scroll around here, and I'm just gonna, I'm going out a little bit further because I'm gonna work my way back. And I'm gonna turn this off because I don't want to see our actual track. I'm just gonna focus on this roto. And let's see. I'm not too worried about the right side of the helmet because, as we saw in the footage, the helicopter's not even reaching this side, so it's a little sloppy, which, you know, I can't say I would advise, but you also don't want to do more than what you have to. Alright, so let's go to the beginning and just see how far off this one is. Alright, so the track didn't do too bad. You know, the perspective changes a little bit because I look and turn my head. But overall, as far as roto is going, I mean, this is such a faster technique than trying to do it by hand in After Effects. That is a nightmare at times. So now I'm just going to kind of go in between these frames and see how Mocha is interpolating everything, and then we're going to export a shape layer and sort of see what it looks like. And the nice thing about shape layers too is it'll give us some bring the motion blur back in and stuff like that. All right, Collective Soul. Yesterday I tried motion tracking with images. I want to ask, is that keyframing really works? Like really, or like easy option for smooth transition? Yeah, I mean, it also, and if I'm understanding your question correctly, you put images into footage. Yeah, motion tracking will take a lot of that guesswork out for you and make it easier on you. I have some motion tracking tutorials on the YouTube channel, using Mocha and stuff like that. So maybe that'll help out. If you have a more specific question, just let me know. Ask a question on the Facebook page. Cool. I'm checking right now. Cool. Awesome. Hey, man, thanks for sending me your reel. I will definitely take a look at it, and I will make sure to get back to you today. How's that sound? Be more than happy to look at reels, man. I love the, you know, just looking at the title, it looks cool. So, yeah, I promise you I'll get back to you today. All right, cool, guys. So this track and this roto is actually doing not too bad. And it feels like the process is slow, but it actually is so much faster in the long run. So So I'm just kind of scrolling through. All right, so it slips maybe just a little bit right here. So I'm just gonna go back to the middle. No worries. Let's see, maybe right there. So if you look, we actually only made adjustments at these keyframes. That's what these green keyframes are, instead of every single frame. So we're actually not having to hand do too much. Keyframing that graph transition. Do you happen to have an example? I'm curious what you're looking at. All right, guys, I'm gonna export this tracking of this helmet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to shape layer. I'm gonna copy that shape layer to the to the clipboard there. And what we're going to do, let's see, this is our left soldier. Just going to delete this real quick. We'll call this our right soldier. And I'm just going to delete this layer to start over so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to select this layer, Control Y. This is our new roto layer. It's going to be right above the layer that we selected. And with that roto layer selected, I'll go to Edit. Oh, let's see here. Let me copy the shape layer again. Copy to clipboard. Select that layer. Edit. I'm going to paste Mocha shape and make sure you're at the beginning of the composition there. So it's a little off right now. That's because we started up here. So this is where our actual composition begins, not at the beginning of that frame. So I'm going to solo this. There we go. We got our helmet track in there, not too bad. And the cool thing with this is I can go ahead and, let's see, throw on some, oh, interesting. Oh, there we go. Turn on the motion blur. So you can see it kind of softens that up a little bit. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, cool. So we're starting to get the helmet on there. Now I'm just gonna sort of, and this is the bummer, is working on these flares and stuff. So we'll have to figure that out eventually. But what I could do, just so we can see what it looks like. Oops, not Trapco particular. Well, I can do this real quick. So now that we have an actual mask on our loader, we can play with the feather options. And it works just like a regular mask, which is awesome. So, I mean, that was a pretty decent amount of rotoscoping in a short amount of time. So I see a few things we'll need to fix, but overall, that's looking pretty cool. I mean, plenty to fix. That's fine. Now, let's see. I did have like a keyed out layer. I'm gonna see what that looks like. And let's turn the helicopter back on. Might need to match those black levels a little bit. Actually, let's turn magic bullet looks back on real fast in our bars. You got 64 gigs of RAM as far as I can feel. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a business expense sort of thing, so it seems like a lot maybe, but once you're kind of in the field and investing in your equipment, because that's what you have to do for your job, it doesn't seem like that big of a cost. It's just like, you know, if a carpenter has a workshop with a table saw and his tool, you know, his hammer and tools and all that stuff. It's just an investment of the job. Cool. So this isn't looking too bad when I get sort of the color correction on and the you know, got to have your widescreen bars on there, right? All right, cool. Let's keep going. It'd be awesome to knock this shot out today. So I got some ghosting here. That might be from when I tried to key it. So let me let's turn off our color correction and our bars here. I'm gonna try to find that keyed out layer, see if I even need it. I obviously need to organize my layers a bit more. Alright, so turn that guy off. Okay, so that's what it's from right there. I was trying to bring that light back in. So I might just adjust this. This is just a Luma mat. Oh, you love the call out tiles. Cool, yeah, thanks, man. That was a fun tutorial. Yeah, that seems to be one of the ones people like the most. All right, so clean that ghosting up a little bit. Let's brain preview this real quick to see what sort of roto we need to do next. Might want to fix that flare too, but hey, we're getting there, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it. Oh, that sweet, sweet highball energy drink. What? So what time is it out there, guys? For me, it's in the what time is it? It's almost noon, almost lunchtime. But I'll probably get lunch after our stream. Pixel's here. While this renders, you guys want to see Pixel real fast? Pixel, come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, come here. This is my Roto companion. Yeah. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Look at the camera right there. This is my dog, Pixel. She is quite a handful. But she's a good dog. She's the channel mascot, pretty much, is what she turned into. Huh. Arr. Alright. Pixel breakover. Let's go back over to our stream here. Alright, so yeah, the propellers are definitely on my shoulder. 12:28 night, okay. AM, 12:30 a.m. Man, you're staying up late. That's awesome. I am using a Blue Yeti, yeah. I flipped it. I inverted it. Here, let me switch it so in case you want to see. I flipped it over because it was too much in my face and I couldn't like work around it. And I don't, you know, maybe eventually I'll get the articulating arm to kind of keep it out of the way. But yeah, Blue Yeti. And I mean, it's the first mic I've ever had. So as far as I know, it sounds okay. Yeah. Let's transition back and check the shot out. All right, cool. So this is coming together a little bit. You can see all the rotor blades going in front of my body. So let's do a overall body track and roto. try that out. All right, so we're done with that one. Change this color, something pink maybe. I don't know. Let's get an overall. Man, it's gonna be hard with the light, but let's try to get a body track. I might try to avoid this light. So right now I'm just getting a new X spline, and we're gonna make a new track. Let's see. Let's do it like this. Yikes! We'll see how this how well this does first try. Let's change the perspective. Change up the pixel sample, something like 75. This footage is 4K, so it might take a little bit, but we'll check it out. All right, so select that, and let's start tracking backwards. Using any sound mixer, XLR, USB. This is the USB version. I don't have any of the XLR setup. I mean, all that stuff, you know, having a live mix and everything would be awesome to have. But yeah, it's one of those deals that unless, you know, because I love the YouTube channel and it's a blast, but it's kind of one of those deals where until it starts, you know, if it makes any money, I'm not in it to make money on the YouTube channel, but anything that goes into the YouTube channel from like AdSense or tutorials or donations, yeah, I'm just going to put it all back into the channel to make things look better, sound better. So yeah, as far as the YouTube channel and streaming stuff, I haven't invested much money into it as of right now. If it becomes a thing that I do more often, I have no hesitation making the channel better. Awesome. I'm glad it sounds good. The only other thing I am using is I'm using this program called Voice Meter Banana. You might have heard of it. And one of the things that it does have built in is it's kind of like a virtual mixing board, which I'll be honest, I still have hardly any clue how to use it. But one of the things that is cool is, you know, you can kind of give your voice a more bassy effect. You can control your levels a little bit, but I'm still basically controlling everything out of OBS. I also do, or, you know, I wouldn't say I do it full time, but my buddy kind of got me into streaming video games because he's like, oh, you're already streaming, you might as well do some games. So I've been streaming video games, and that's where it gets a little more tricky, mixing the game audio and my mic and if I'm talking to someone online. So let me pause this really quick so I can kind of see how we're doing here. So you see how much our tracking points are moving? I mean, it's just brutal. Unfortunately, I might have to let's turn this off. Let's try to get just my arm here. And we'll try just like 50% right now. Yeah, the sunflowers are just brutal. It's confusing the tracking data a little bit. Just kind of tuck this in my arm a little bit more. Let's avoid the sunflower a little bit. Otherwise, I love Mocha. It's really awesome. Alright, we'll see how that track does. And I mean, it's not doing too bad. Luckily, I don't move my arm away from my body very much, so we might be able to use that track as our as a good starting point for our roto data. "4K, how much time to render after editing if 20 to 30 second video in your machine?" Let's see. If you mean out of Premiere, it's actually not too bad if I'm just rendering footage. If I'm doing, hold Well, let me fix this track real fast. If I'm doing let's set a keyframe here to retrack it. If I'm doing stuff in After Effects at 4K and I start adding effects, you know, like film grain and motion blur, stuff like that, it'll take a few minutes to render. In my experience, the real thing that takes the most time is rendering out 4K 3D, you know, out of Cinema 4D. That takes a while. I still can't get it why people use Mocha. Is it better than After Effects tracking, or is it easier? That's a great question. So Mocha is like a different kind of tracker. It uses the surface area instead of points, because like right now, take this arm for example, there are no points of contrast that the After Effects tracker could use, let alone export a shape once I start rotoing this to make rotoscoping go a little bit faster. Now there's different kinds of tracking too. You know, if there's a quick point, I use the point tracker. You know, if there's a 3D camera solve, I don't really ever use Mocha. I use the camera tracker or something like SynthEyes or the Cinema 4D camera tracker. If you have a camera moving through space, so you have different kinds of tracking for different kinds of tracks. Hope that makes sense. And yeah, and you know, Mocha comes with After Effects, so it's good to just sort of pick up and start using. And it's really, Mocha's really good for like, if you've seen any of my, like the iPhone or iPad screen replacements, getting that corner pin data, oh my goodness gracious, doing that in regular After Effects is practically impossible. And then the other program plugin that we use that's kind of a sponsor of this short film that we're going to break into tutorials is Fei-In by Fei-Tech, which is really good for screen replacements and adding signage and you know, tracking walls and stuff like that. Yeah, yes, of course I've seen that. Awesome. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you, this track, it's not going to be that great. We're just going to keep moving forward and get it over with. How much you invest when you start your YouTube channel? How much did I invest? Oh yeah, Fei-In, awesome. Yeah, we're doing some Fei-In breakdowns. We're also doing a Fei-In giveaway. Fei-In gold giveaway. No one else knows that. Now you guys know that because you're on the stream, but no one else knows that. How much do I invest when I start YouTube? Literally the only investment I made was the Logitech webcam and this mic. So you're looking at what, maybe less than $200? That's literally all I've done. Unless you want to call, you know, the money that we spend on the short film for the YouTube channel, then, you know, that's a little bit more. But I mean, that the short film was just fun. That's just what we wanted to do. Alright, so you know what? This track isn't going to be that great, but it's kind of one of those deals where I just want to get into it. So let me adjust this a little bit more. And we'll at least get a good start on rotoscoping this body. Good teaching. Hey man, I appreciate that. That's you know, I know it's a little bit different than some of the stuff that people are doing out there, but I feel like it's a fun way to kind of get some tutorials out there, some information without like being too boring and beating you over the head with it. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thanks. It's definitely a lot of fun. Okay, so let's do this. We got our poopy track. Also, side note, another cool thing about Mocha, you saw me how I moved the points around. That's the awesome thing about Mocha is you can move, because you want to focus on the same plane, but as you're tracking, you can move those points around to get that plane into frame more, and it doesn't affect your tracking if you do it correctly, which again, it's a real pain in the ass when something goes out of frame and back in frame. with like the After Effects point tracker. You have to do some boring or some not fun workarounds for that. Whereas Mocha, if some of your image goes out and your tracking is still kind of in the frame, it'll come back in and out of frame for you, which is really nice. Hey man, so much to learn. Yeah, I feel like I'm learning every day too. You know, the learning never stops, and you don't want it to stop because you want to, you know, you want to be able to solve problems and get better. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually start from the beginning on this one, and I'm gonna turn that off. This is our body track. I'm gonna turn that off. I don't want to see it either. And let's make a new Bezier spline again. Why doesn't it let me select this? Alright, there we go. So I had to have the track activated. I actually didn't know that. See? I just learned something too, guys. Alright. I kind of want this over more. So I might start the body track like right here. I'm just gonna jump back to After Effects real quick. I just want to see how much. So yeah, we basically have to do my whole shoulder and body. And another cool thing about Mocha, guys, is, so if you remember, we just made this roto layer of my head. Well, once we get the shape layer from Mocha again, I don't have to make a new layer. I'm gonna be able to paste all the keyframes on this layer, so I don't have to have multiple layers. So, tune in just a second, and we'll see what that looks like. All right, so I grabbed a Bezier spline here, and this is where we want to kind of take our time. I want to make enough points, but not too many points. Whoop. Alright, so we're not going to be able to curve that around very much. Alright, we'll get, I don't like how that's bending. Let's start over. There we go. It's kind of, we'll sort of go all the way up here into the scarf. And wait, do I really need to focus on the right side? Okay, cool. So the propellers never go outside the right side. So, I'll just kind of rough this in, but we're not going to worry about it much. Alright, so really I should probably do this in a couple of parts, but let's just see. Oh, you know what? I'm making... Oh crap, sorry guys. I'm actually adding points to this track, and that's not what we want. Crap, sorry guys, let me undo this. I need this on a separate layer, not on the track itself. My bad. Let's do this over. That's the great thing about the live streams, is you guys get to see all the mistakes that I make. What can you do? Alright, so that made a new layer. Okay. Alright. So I'll just sort of rough in the right side. I don't need it as much. And I'm going to turn off our tracking layer. And I'll worry about this hole here in a second. Let's follow. This is me. I didn't realize my arms look so hairy when they glisten in the sun. It's a little awkward. Oops.
Hanging by a thread, hung upon all the words you said. Breaking
All right, cool. So this is our
this conformity that you forced on me.
body roto, and I'm going to link that to the body track. And I have a good feeling it's not going to match too well, but let's sort of zoom out here and see what we got. Oh, yeah, the scaling is a little out of control. That's a bummer. Alright. So let's see here. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of with this track. Alright, so I'm gonna unlink this again real fast. I'm just gonna delete this track, unfortunately. Let's make a new track. And let's just try to, you know what we might want to do? Focus on where the sun isn't at. So let's kind of focus on the outside here. Let me turn off our roto layer to not get confused here. And let's track this forward. All right, slowly but surely. Awesome. So yeah, so what happened there is it's just getting a little funky, and like to give props to Mocha again. Let me stop this real fast. I don't really want this head movement. Is even though I want to focus on this area, since my body's all one plane, quote unquote, I can track the right side of my body and still be able to translate that to the left side. Another tough thing that you wouldn't be able to do with After Effects. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna get some water. All right. How'd the tracking do? Did it do poorly? Let's see. So the gun kind of screwed it up. Let me try tracking backwards. And you know, it might be one of those deals where it might be faster just to start rotoing it and get it over with, you know. Bring this back over a little bit. So that's a nice thing. I can kind of adjust this as it goes. Let's see. Did the music stop? Okay, so we got some music going. Let me know if it stops or if you guys want music at all. Oh, yikes. This might just be a tough track, unfortunately. I'm just trying a bunch of different points at this point. Ha! Let's try to get my body back in there a little bit. This is me, by the way, in case if I make any jokes about how stubby or chubby the soldier is, it's okay because it's me. That holiday weight, man, it's brutal. I'm doing nothing but eating for like the last 2 months. Alright, so let's get my gun out of there. Maybe this will give us a starting point. And I think no matter what, we'll just start the roto process. Yeah, it just doesn't like that sun flare. And if I could go back and do this, I would have never shot into the sun. We shouldn't have even bothered doing that. Excuse me, sorry. Come to India tour? Dude, that would be awesome. I would love to go there. If I was to go to India, where should I visit? I've never been. Alright guys, this is ugly, but we're just going to go for it. Alright, so I'm going to link this real quick to body track. Yeah, this is going to be a bad one. Oh man. Alright guys. Let me figure this out. Let's unlink it. I can try tracking this, but I don't think it's going to track very well. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this the brute force way. I'm not going to worry about that side too much now that we're doing this by hand. Yeah. Let's not get too sloppy on this. Man, I thought it would be a little bit of a better track, but sorry guys. This is just kind of part of it, you know. Working around the problems and figuring out solutions. No problems, only opportunities, right? So let me scroll back and see. So we're getting some good interpolation at least. You know what? I'm not even going to track this. I'm just going to interpolate the keyframes. I'm going to delete that keyframe. Alright guys, fortunately I'm doing just brute force way because I'm sick of wasting time trying to figure out a good track of it. And I just gotta... Sometimes you just gotta get it done, you know? At least we only have one side to worry about. Whoa. Not the most interesting tutorial, that's for sure. Excuse me. Delhi Agra, Taj Mahal? Yeah, Taj Mahal for sure. So about going Tasty Food Mumbai. Awesome. I would absolutely love to go to India. Have you seen the Netflix series Sense 8? I love that series because they show so many different parts of the world. And it's like, ooh, I want to go there and I want to go there. I think my favorite part would always be, I mean, I definitely want to see the sights of everything, but I love to eat, and so I love trying different kinds of food. All right, we'll just have to see how this goes. So I'm started trying to match these up every time I adjust them. It's not going to be perfect every time, but I would still say, even though I'm sort of doing this by hand instead of the tracking way, I still feel like it's so much faster than After Effects. Foodie, definitely going to Mumbai. Dude, that sounds great to me. Gosh, now I'm not going to lie, I kind of want some Indian food. My wife and I definitely like different kinds of food. We also really like Thai food. Love Thai food, Vietnamese food. Gotta have that pho, those pho noodles. Oh. All right, that's not looking too bad. Let's just go to the very end. Man, no joke. You are starting to make me hungry. Andrew, hey man, how's it going? It's going great, man. Well, I mean, as good as doing rotoscoping can go. But, we're almost done with the rotoscoping, I hope. We'll see how bad this turns out. But, yeah, doing great. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We're just doing some motion tracking, some rotoscoping, and we got this helicopter shot that we're trying to just got to get it done. Got to make it look nice. Got to get it to my editor. And so I'm just struggling with some of this roto, the lens flares. So we're trying to get it all worked out. But yeah, like I said, how you doing? And how's it going? And remind me where you're tuning in from. We're talking to people from India. A couple weeks ago, we had some people from the UK, which was pretty cool. We were talking about Indian food. Less motion graphics, more Indian food, which, hey man, that sounds delicious right now. Alright, this isn't looking too bad. Not too worried about this bottom part. That's not where the propellers are anyways. Alright, so I'm going to start going in between these and see how the interpolation's looking. Ah, from Russia. Awesome. Yeah, rotoscoping. Earlier we got away with being able to motion track a lot of this and not have to make much, frame by frame rotoing because Moko had a great track, but I'm not able to get a very good track with all the sunlight that's hitting me and the lens flares, so yeah, I'm having to adjust this a little bit, but overall, it's not too bad. I mean, it is, but I'm trying to be optimistic, I guess. Ugh. Someone's got to do it, though. Yeah, there's some Indian, like Indian places to eat. I have some Indian neighbors that are super nice, and yeah, it's I'd say Colorado is very definitely as far as food and stuff. We have a lot of it's very multicultural. I mean, we have like every kind of food you can possibly think of. Probably. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's more, but we have like Ethiopian food and Vietnamese and Mediterranean. A lot of like falafel and gyro and hummus and oh my gosh, guys, I'm getting hungry. All right, guys. I know this is the most fun thing to do, but I think we're getting there. So I'm just going to take all these guys and sort of shift them in. Man, love it. I love when these chat rooms just fill up with people from different places. It's awesome. Is Periscope it's the streaming platform, right? Yeah, if you're talking about the streaming one, I've definitely heard of it. I thought you had to pay for that for some reason. Should I be using that? Is that why you're asking me? Love the feeling that you can talk to a stranger from another country with a different mentality. Totally, it's so cool. I mean, and that's the great thing about like Periscope is social media for streaming in real time. All right, well, yeah, I'll definitely take a second look at that. And yeah, and along the notes of like talking to someone from a different culture, I totally agree with that. That's what's awesome about, traveling. I mean, I think traveling is so important to, learn about other cultures and kind of get outside your own little bubble. Although, as I say that, I haven't been to Russia or India, so sorry about that. More just Western and Eastern Europe. But man, again, 2 places I definitely want to go to. What's Russian food like? I don't know if I've ever actually had Russian food. What's like a traditional Russian dish or dinner? All right, our points are starting to interpolate a little bit more every time. My buddy had some of his friends stay with us that were from Vienna, Austria, and they made us Wiener Schnitzel and potato salad. It was basically, I think it was thin steak, but yeah, they like pounded the crap out of some thin steak. And then mixed it with some bread and egg, and then fried it in our kitchen. They did like this whole traditional Austrian feast, and oh my goodness gracious, it was so good. So much steak. It was ridiculous. Definitely go cheaper, maybe cost less in Russia. Pancakes, which we call blini, and also national soap called borscht. Oh, soup, I'm sorry. Man, pancakes and soup? That sounds amazing. Anything that's like a pancake, like crepes too? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love all that stuff, man. I will eat that. I am not picky when it comes to eating all that food. The good thing about traveling though and eating when you travel is, like, for me at least, I'm always walking around, because you're visiting stuff, so I don't gain as much weight. That's all I can translate to English. Hey man, no worries at all. That's cool. No. Oh, you know what? I never tracked this back. Crap. Man, thank God you guys are here, because this is making this way more bearable. It's more fun to talk to people while I'm doing this roto work. I need an assistant. Why don't I have an assistant to do all this rotoing for me? Oh, maybe because rotoing is not that fun. I don't think I need to really do these frames, but I mean, we're just going to make it all match. How's that sound? Does anyone happen to know offhand what the flight times would be like to India or Russia? I wonder how long of a flight that is. Repeat my question. I was just wondering what flight times would be like from the U.S. from Russia or U.S. to India. Just curious how long those flights are. I mean, I'd guess like 12 or 13 hours or something maybe. I also have no idea. I'm just totally guessing. Oh, 8 hours? That's not bad at all. I thought it'd be a lot more. I used to play a lot of soccer, and I was able to get on a team that we did a tournament in South Korea. So the flight from the U.S. to South Korea, that was a long one. That might have been, and don't quote me on this, but yeah, that might have been like 13 hours, 14 hours. And I think that was like South Korean Air, so. Yeah, Russia and US are big, so the city is important. Yeah, that totally makes sense. All depends on where you land and stuff. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. This is taking way longer than I anticipated. Play cricket. You know, I've never tried cricket. It looks so cool. I roughly know the rules because I used to freelance for a network that did all of like the world sports. You know, so like cricket. We did a lot of rugby, which rugby is so awesome. And then yeah, like a lot of skiing and badminton. It was like all the world sports. You know. And there was a little bit of cricket on there, and cricket, yeah. All right, are we back? I don't know what happened there. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know. I updated OBS to this new version. I seem to be having some crashing issues, so sorry about that. Hopefully everyone's still here. Anyone still here? All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Just gonna keep going. Still doing the roto. Still here. Cool. Yeah, sorry about that. This new version seems to, I don't know, I've been having some issues with it lately. Like I was saying earlier, my buddy convinced me to start streaming some video games, so I've been streaming like you know, Battlefield 1 and stuff on a different YouTube channel. And yeah, every now and then I get like sometimes it can work the whole time, or sometimes it crashes. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It seems like a new update. Hopefully they fix that. Will you mask the hole between the hand and the body right here? Yeah, I'll have to do that as well. I'm not gonna worry about it right now though, because I want to get this main roto layer out, and then I'm gonna see how much I actually have to do, how much the propellers actually hit. And then I'll sort of worry about it. The main mistake I'm making here, in case anyone's wondering, because I'm doing this is not the best way to do this, is I should have tried to track separate parts instead of one giant mask, but you know, the shot thankfully isn't that long. So, and you know, It's interpolating it pretty well. Sorry, am I talking really loud too? Whoops, crash again. Am I still crashing? Kind of looks like I'm still working. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, looks like I'm still going. Once we get this shape layer out, we're in good shape. Huh? No? Okay. Because this is kind of the last piece of this puzzle besides, well, we'll see if the lens flares match, but so I'm just using the scroll wheel to kind of see how the mask evolves. And now that we're starting to get some keyframes in between there, it's not doing too bad. So I might run into some problems here. It may not look like it, but we're almost done. Pepe Click? Mendoza? Sorry if I slaughtered that, man. Glad you're here, though. Glad you're joining the chat. We got some people from India, some people from Russia. Where are you from? So also, for people just tuning in, we're just doing some rotoscoping here in Mocha. We weren't able to get a very good track off of this footage, so I'm having to do a lot of this by hand. But then we'll jump back into After Effects and put it, because we have a CG helicopter behind our guys here. So we'll see what it looks like. All right, that's kind of getting there. Ryan, for what purpose this specific mask? What idea? Okay, so, oh, sorry, yeah, for just tuning in. So what we're gonna do is jump back here in After Effects. We have this CG helicopter behind our soldiers. So if you see, you know, I gotta fix the rotors going in front here. So we're just gonna make a shape layer to bring that back on, so we don't see through our guy, and you know, we don't want to see through the propellers, obviously. Good question. I forgot, for people just tuning in, haven't seen this part yet, so. It's getting there. Thanks, appreciate that. I'm by no means a visual effects artist, but you know, we get by with what we can. Try to do as good as we can to make it look as good as we can. Alright, so we might have a little slipping. But guess what, guys? Oh, wait, let me fix this one. We might be almost ready to test this out. No more roto. I did the helicopter in Sim 4D. Yeah, I actually found a just like a free to use model online, and then I kind of just matched the camera angle a little bit, made the propellers move, and then yeah, rendered it out in Cinema. Did a little bit of motion tracking in another live stream to kind of match the camera, and yeah, got it in the shot now. Alright guys, so I'm not gonna lie to you, this is my best work. But here, let me fix this. But it just might work. Like I was saying, luckily those propellers aren't, we can probably get away with a lot with those propellers moving so fast, and not being there for every frame. I'm using the scroll wheel to kind of scroll back to see what everything looks like. And just sort of cleaning up any little edges that I see. A lot of this we can also adjust in After Effects if we need to, but yeah, got our roto. That footage from Video with Drones or another project. Nope, this is all the same short film that once we get it done here, which we're aiming to get it done by the end of this month. That's don't hold me to that, but yeah, it's all part of the same project, same short film that we're just releasing for people on YouTube and the YouTube channel, and we're gonna break down a bunch of the tutorials and visual effects. Maybe have some like presets and stuff to give away, but also we're giving away a copy of the motion tracking plugin of Fei-In. So we're going to give away a year gold membership of Fei-In, and we'll do a raffle for that as well. So yeah, this one short film, we're trying to do a lot of stuff for all the people on YouTube and the YouTube channel, and just get some more tutorials and some freebies and some content stuff out there. So that's eventually what this project will serve. This whole thing is basically for the YouTube channel, because we just wanted to do something cool for everyone. So hopefully it turns out well, and hopefully people like it, because we had a blast making it. All right, I'm just fixing a couple more points, and I think we're ready to see what this looks like in After Effects. It'll probably still need a little love, but it might be enough to sort of give to our editor, John Schmidt, who is also our director, and he can start putting all the effect shots into the timeline. And then after this, it might be time to get some lunch after everyone's telling me about their delicious food from where they're from. Gosh, I might only have some boring stuff for lunch today, but I might take a lunch break, and kind of depending on how this looks and what we do, might be time for a Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, Battlefield 1 break, because man, that story mode in that game, it just looks good, and I love the World War I and II games and stuff. Oh, we're getting a phone call. John Schmidt, are you watching right now? Awesome. I think I might have just gotten a text message from the guy I was talking about, John Schmidt, our editor-director. He might be in the chat room. Hey, John, if you're in the chat room, don't be shy. Say hi to everyone. You're part of this project too. I should get you on Skype or something. Get your face up here. He was requesting some Stone Temple Pilot music in the background, which I wish I could do Stone Temple Pilots, but YouTube will flag me again. Ryan, can you spend a little time and rate my first project, please? I'll be very pleased for it. Yeah, send it to me. Either send it to me in chat, or if you have it online, tweet it to me. Is it Extravaganza logo reveal version 1 YouTube? Yeah, the links are prohibited. I need to figure out how to fix that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I will definitely take a look at this. I'll take a look at it once I kind of get done things today, and I'll definitely get back to you on it. Yeah, I love looking at other people's stuff. It's good to get inspired and, you know, collaborate with people. So the director, John, are you watching? John Schmidt? He's heckling me. he's making fun of me. Oh, he's at the store right now. So I'm telling my buddy John he's got to join the chat or get on Skype. He's the director of the film, and he's an awesome director, but also just an awesome guy and totally hilarious. You guys would love him. Yeah, no problem, Andre. I'll definitely check it out. I'm actually not streaming on YouTube. I'm trying out a couple of different places, just seeing where people like them. Excuse me. I'm actually streaming on Twitch, Picarto, and Daily Motion, as well as YouTube. Just, you know, trying to reach out to anyone new that might not, you know the YouTube channel or stuff like that. Oh, hold on really quick, guys. I'm getting a phone call. Alright guys, I'm back. All at the same time. Yes, I'm using Restream.io. So yeah, I'm able to stream out to a couple different places at once. Which phone are you using? I am using the OnePlus One. Not gonna lie, the OnePlus One, this is the best phone I have ever had. It's awesome. And I know they have the OnePlus 3T out now, and the OnePlus 4 is coming out first or second quarter 2017. But yeah, OnePlus One, I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not promoting them or anything, except for the fact I'm saying it's the best phone I've ever had. And I think I only spent I got a few years, or two and a half years ago, and I think it was like $300 at the time, which in the scheme of what it can do versus like how expensive the iPhone and the Samsung phones are, it's a powerhouse for the price. So yeah, that's the phone I have. I absolutely love it. My wife has one. I convinced a few of my friends to get one. One of my buddies just got the 3T, the one they just released, like the beefed up version of it, and he just absolutely loves it. Android phone, doesn't come with any bloatware. OnePlus is the name of the company, and they're kind of, I guess they're technically a up and coming company, but they've seen be pretty successful and hit the nail on the head if they're still able to release, phones and stuff. Real quick, actually, Audrey, after I review your project, where do you want me to, do you want me to get back to you on Twitter, send you a private message? What's your, this is my, my Twitter, as you can see, it's Phoenix, Phoenix, Colorado. Send me your Twitter or anything, and I can send you a message through that. I also have Facebook, but I'm slowly getting out of Facebook in a way, but not really. I still use it for this page, but yeah, send me something I can respond to you at. Moto X, yeah, and I actually looked at the Moto X's too. I think they're awesome too, but hey man, I love the Samsung and well, guys, don't get mad, but I'm not the biggest Apple fan anymore. I'm on a PC nowadays. I have been for a few years, but their phones are just so expensive versus like other companies that are out there. So, I never really got on the. I did have a Samsung for a little bit, and then stumbled across the OnePlus One and the price point, and my biggest thing is no bloatware. That was kind of the biggest thing that I liked. None of the, the Samsung apps that come with it or any of that stuff. So that was kind of a big selling feature for me as well. All right, cool, Audrey. I got your email. I'll take a look at that and I'll get back to you. All right, guys. You know what? Enough of this boring stuff. Let's drop this into After Effects and see what it looks like. All right, cool. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got this roto layer. Let's sort of let's get an idea what it looks like. How I came about into motion design. That's a great and kind of funny question. I've always liked visual effects and motion graphics and stuff, but I actually yeah, no bloatware. Bloatware is horrible. I actually started out as an editor. And I was doing a lot of editing in Final Cut, like promos and, excuse me, sorry. I'm choking. And I was doing a lot of editing for like promos and like short television series and stuff like that. And I kind of fell into this habit where they'd be like, well, can you blur, they weren't supposed to wear that logo. Can you blur that logo? And then it kind of turned into, well, make some lower thirds, make an intro, and it kind of just turned into more and more After Effects work where I kind of got to the point where it's like, man, I love After Effects and graphics like so much more than editing. So I kind of just fell into the opportunity of they're like, well, do you want to edit or do you want to do motion graphics? I'm like, I want to do motion graphics. And that kind of started my whole trail because I was just always kind of more naturally interested in that. So I was more inclined to teach myself about it and just work in the program more and just, I have a broad interest in it, which, so I kind of like a little bit of everything, a little bit of motion graphics, a little bit of visual effects, 3D, and sort of broad, and it's okay, and it served me well, and I'm able to help out a lot of clients, but there's a small part of me that, it does help to have an emphasis, whether it's, explainer graphics or visual effects or, like character animation, stuff like that. It is good to have an emphasis, and I know I don't, so it's kind of hard preaching that, but it's good to have an emphasis because it's a good selling feature to have an emphasis, but I think it's good to be general and stuff like that. So, hey, are you making logos and intros? Do you mean for the short film or in general? I do have some intro and title credit stuff that are in the works, and when we jump back in After Effects, I'll show you what's in the works. It's very rough, But yeah, I am doing some title credit stuff for this short film. Alright, so back to it. Let's select our body roto. Let's export the shape data. Copy that bad boy to the clipboard. I loved Final Cut when I bought a Mac because I was afraid of Adobe products. Now I can't even. Yeah, it's you know, Apple's they're kind of dishing the pro market, in my opinion, and I think they started doing that a long time ago when they didn't update the pro hardware that we need, and then also what they did with Final Cut. Adobe really capitalized on that by stepping up their Premiere, and they got a lot of that market. So yeah, a lot of people have switched over, and that's what naturally led to me switching over to a PC, because upgrading the equipment I needed for a Mac was just getting way too expensive and like not compatible, and it just led me to go into PC. So yeah, let me do this again. Export shape data, copy to the clipboard. Let's go to our helicopter shot here. And this is our current roto layer for this side. What I'm going to do real fast is I'm just going to make a new shape layer. And this is our roto data. And I'm just going to go edit, paste mocha mask. I'm at the beginning of the frame there. And instead of using this layer, I'm just going to copy this mask. Which is nice. If you label it from Mocha, it labels it for you in here, which is really sweet. And with our roto layer that we did for the helmet, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to select our mask. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to add it to our already existing roto layer. Cool. And again, we don't need to worry about this side because the propellers don't go in front of that, so... Apple Motion is even worse. Yeah, I know a few people that still use Motion, but that's just not what the industry is using, in my opinion. Everyone's using After Effects or, higher end compositing solutions like Nuke and stuff like that. Don't like 2016 MacBook Pro. Yeah, what are they doing with the Mac Pro? It's confusing because, like... And the other weird thing about the Mac Pro is I believe they're all like dual core i5s, like dual core. I mean, come on, that's my biggest complaint. And they don't have dedicated graphics anymore. So I don't understand the Pro part of that, but again, that's just my opinion. All right, guys, cool. We got our roto layer in there. I might add a little bit of feathering. Sorry if I keep switching back and forth like this. I'm not used to working on one screen, but I want everyone to see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna give that a little bit of feathering. And let's make this full screen. Not that much. Actually, you know what? Let's RAM preview this again, but I'm gonna turn on... Sorry guys, I keep switching. I'm gonna turn our widescreen bars just to look at them. I'm gonna use a little bit of lens distortion. And I'm going to turn on Magic Bullet Looks to get an overall look of a grade. And let's RAM preview this. This is also half resolution, so it's still gonna look a little pixelated. Man. Tejas Sawant, I think you just followed. I want to say, yeah, thanks for following, man, on Twitter. I am keeping up on the Twitters. Alright, we're getting there. It's looking a lot better with that roto in there. It definitely sells a little bit more. Getting there. I think Adobe takes more power to apply effects. Must have a good configuration PC. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a proponent of buy as much PC as you can afford. I mean, if you're in the field, if you're not doing it full time, I think you should stagger out your expenses, you know. But I feel like Adobe's really done a good job of utilizing graphics cards power more lately. So it definitely helps if you want to lower in, and this is just for editing, not necessarily for After Effects, as After Effects is very render intensive. But I feel like in Premiere, when you're working in the timeline, you can get away with having a less powerful processor and a more powerful graphics card if you need somewhere to put your money in, from my experience. But you know, if someone knows better, correct me. But I also don't think it seems like Premiere also isn't utilizing multi-core processing very well, because if I look at my task manager when I render, it's still not using all the cores, but I do notice a big spike in the GPU power. So but it also isn't utilizing dual GPUs as well. So it's an interesting thing to think about. Alright, so we got a little bit of light bleed happening, but overall this shot is not that bad. So what I might do is I might call this, I love this little natural lens flare over here. So yeah, maybe we should make this look a little bit better before I send it over to John, our editor. And one of the things I need to do is let's see, do we have a flicker on this? Or let's see, is it hitting a foreground layer? Oh, interesting. I thought I had this hitting a foreground layer. Hold on real quick, guys. I'm just going to mute my mic for one quick second. If you want.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, I always talk about my wife and stuff, so here you can meet her if you guys want. And the dog Pixel. Here, let me switch over to full screen real quick. She's been in a couple of the tutorials. You might have seen her before, but yeah, this is Rachel and Pixel. She just got home from work, so Pixel's very excited to see her. Cool. All right. So what time is the Broncos game?
2.
What time is it right now? Okay. Cool. So yeah, I might work for a little bit longer here. I want to at least get this shot out to John today, and then gotta watch those Broncos. Sweet, sweet Broncos game. All right. Oh, she brought her ball. She wants to play. All right. I'll see you in a second here. All right. One of our viewers says, "Nice to meet you, man." She says that's very polite of you. Nice to meet you. All right, so I originally thought I had this lens flare hitting the helicopter to kind of flicker on and off, but maybe I didn't save it, which is not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to, and I don't have these labeled very well. That's very not good of me. What's that? No, Schmidt was tuning in for a little bit, but Oh, they're saying keep supporting your man.
Always. After 10 years. 10 years today.
Yeah. John Schmidt was on for a little bit. He was watching the stream and heckling me via text message, so I don't know if he's still on. No, it doesn't look like it.
That's what I got for Duo.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Are those for her?
No, these are.
Oh, those are chocolates.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I don't think Mark's on the stream, so he doesn't know that we're giving him a gift. Awesome. Cool. All right, we're gonna try to finish up this shot and then take a little break. All right. So I don't know why this layer isn't flickering on and off. It should be interacting with the helicopter. Alright, so let me adjust this flare to see if we can get it to interact with the light source a little bit, because we don't want such a hot spot right in front. There we go. So in that, see how it kind of interacts with the helicopter there? That's the nice thing about this, adding a foreground layer to optical flares. Now, my helicopter layer is scaled up and offset a little bit, so that's why it's kind of not a perfect match, but let's see what that looks like. It should give us a little bit of light flickering. We gotta fix this edge somehow. Let me solve these real quick. And I'm going to deliver this without any color correction, so that might help our editing process a little bit. I'm going to delete that layer for now. I'm going to roll this helmet roto. I'm going to see if I can feather this a little bit, what it looks like. And I might bring in the expansion just a little bit. See. All right, let me run preview this real quick so we can see what it looks like. Should get a little bit of a, oh man. Gonna have to fix that, that's okay. Not getting the light flickering to cover that lens flare up.
Everything changes.
Bernard Lilo Zindelli. Hey man, if you're watching, thanks for following on the Facebook page. My tumbly's rumbling. It's time for lunch. You get some of that food. Alright, so the light flickering's sweet. I do like it. The issue is that lens flare I'm using to cover up on John isn't going to cut it, so... So let's fix that lens flare that's kind of screwing us up here. So this is our sun flare, flare left. Let's just blur it out real quick. Let me get back to the beginning here. And I'm just gonna see if I can shift this whole thing over a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Cool, so we're getting away with a little bit by sort of blowing this out a bit, which will definitely help. So let's go to John's roto layer. Let me get, let's see. It's not blurred as much. See if that helps. Oh, let's instead of blurring, let me turn the blur off. The feather a little bit. Feather it short a little bit. And I'm just gonna bring in the expansion a little bit. And I might do the same thing with my arm layer on this side. So let's grab that again. And let's feather these a little bit more. Not too much, something like 8. And I'm just gonna bring in the expansion a little bit. Alright, let's try and preview this again. Man, now the helmet's bothering me. Okay, sorry, before we were in preview it, let's fix the helmet. Go back to our roto layer. Helmet roto, yeah, the feather's a little bit too much. Let's, something like 10 maybe. And we'll bring that expansion back out. Let's readjust it. I see why I did it, but it's just sort of bothering me. Alright, cool. And just for fun, you know what, let's see what the effects are again real quick. And hey, it's not perfect, but you know, it might totally work. I'm gonna turn on some fake camera shake and let's see how it all comes together. Alright, might be a little bit of a slow render, but you can catch up on the tweets and the Facebooks if anyone's doing that. Otherwise, how we doing? Is this interesting at all? Roto's a little tough to watch, but you know, hopefully there's a couple of tips in there that help. It's getting there. It might be, the blacks might be a little too crushed because all of a sudden, I might have to turn another layer on because all of a sudden I'm losing. Feels like I'm losing a little bit of detail in this shot, but they kind of come into the light, which is cool. Something to worry about later. Yeah, not ideal frame by frame, but once it all comes together, it could probably sell it. And I don't even know if we're actually on this shot this long that we're displaying it. So we're actually going to slow it down even more to make it look more slow motion and then cut away from it. So everything that we're looking at, we're not actually using all. I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds. We're not using all 4 or 5 seconds. So that'll definitely help us as well. So yeah, you're totally right. So, question for the people watching. Kind of one of the up and coming tutorials I'm thinking of doing is I had to do this project to kind of simulate light writing, but on video. And I was thinking of doing a quick tutorial on that as well as like a free toolkit to 4 to 5 seconds, 4 to 5 hours of roto. Exactly. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours. But I was thinking of doing that like for another free preset / toolkit like that light writing effect, but add it to video. It uses Trapcode Particular. I don't know if that's something anyone's interested in, but I was thinking of releasing that as a tutorial and also free toolkit because it's definitely something that I'll probably use in the future for another project like that. But it's really simple to set up. Alright, let's take a look at what we have so far. So the left side of the shoulder still really bugs me, but it's kind of one of those things where we could work on it all day. So I need to just let it go and get it in the edit and see what it looks like. So I'm gonna call this done. If John's watching, hey man, I have this coming. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off all these effects, like all the grain and the color bars and stuff. And let me double check I don't have any other. I'll leave the flares on. Yeah, I'll turn multiple looks off. Let me see what the lens distortion looks like. Lens distortion is nice. I'll leave that back on. Let's see. I'll take off the film grain I added. And I just don't want to give it to him with any colored effects for when we color grade it in Premiere. Add more light to hide the left shoulder. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to have to, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just do it real quick. So I kind of got that flare going, but you know what I might do? Is I might try taking... I might just try taking the original footage and setting it to add mode. Let's just try that real fast. But I agree, more light to hide the mistakes. All right, so let's I'll call this left shoulder light. Let me slow that real quick, see what we got. So what I might do is let's just take an actual section of this. Or you know what I might do? Let's try this. Let's actually grab this whole flare since it's in the frame. Oh, sorry. Let's go to time. Let's make this a freeze frame. And we're going to use this actual light. I'm just going to sort of mask this real quick to see what it looks like. Let's feather it out. And I might need a little bit more of this area. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to solo our actual plate here. And I'm going to do this real fast. So I'm going to take the mask, I'm going to set it to none. So now we just have the freeze frame of that shot. I'm going to set this to... I'm going to set it to difference mode. And what I'm going to do is just sort of match where this lens flare should be. So I'm not focusing on the footage, I'm focusing on the bleed of the lens flare. And once these go all the way black, I know I'm sort of in the right area. So I'm kind of just matching these two right here. So I'm going to match that. I'm going to set this, compare it to our tracking data that we have. Set it back to normal. Take the mask, set it back to add. So now I know that lens flare is going to match the sun and be tracked in with it. So with that, let's set this. I'm just curious if I add this. Yikes, too much. Okay, so let's just do this. Just unsolo those real quick. There we go. So there we go. We added the actual, and you know, I don't even know if I need this left lens flare now. You see the sky go through. But yay, we're blowing it out with the light, and it's totally selling it. So I love that. I might have to do the same thing with the helmet. Oh, awesome! Yeah, I mean, I mainly only use difference mode for what I just showed you, just matching stuff. Otherwise, I personally haven't had a lot of use for it, but matching frames like that totally helps me all the time. All right, I'm gonna blur the side flare out a little bit more. All right. So now that we have this left shoulder light tracked in, I'm just gonna try to take it a little bit more away from the propeller to see what it looks like. I want it definitely on the shoulder area. And since it's sort of feathered, I'm just sort of slowly moving it away from this problem area, because we don't want to blow out the shot too much. So I'm gonna, you know, I might just delete these extra points that I made. Cool. All right, let's run preview this again without the effects on it. So we might have got it with that quick fix. I love that. Eventually, I might need to go back and add more detail to the helicopter too. It's a little, I mean, it is silhouetted, but I think we'd see a little bit more detail in it. All right. Awesome. I love it. We'll go with it. Cool. All right, so I'm going to set this to render. Let's see what bits per channel we're at here. 16 bits per channel, that's right. All right. And I think we'll call this done for today. So awesome. Thanks for tuning in, the people that hang out, and yeah, that was fun. I'll have another tutorial on Friday. It looks like a couple people like that light leaking one, or the light trail one, so we'll do that on Friday. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll live stream motion graphics more today. But if anyone is interested in seeing horrible, yes, saved a lot of time, good call. If anyone's interested in seeing some horrible gameplay, I'm gonna stream Battlefield 1 later today, and I know it's sort of a, you know, mixing two worlds together, but I'll copy my my gaming channel into the chat if anyone's interested. But otherwise, yeah, that's all I got. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next tutorial or the next live stream. So thanks again, guys, and that was fun. I know I've already said it 100 times, but yep, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.